pressure was fed. But I know just what it feels like to have a voice in the back of my
We're
head.
talking about the Wizards, who lost 2 over the weekend, pummeled by the Cavs on Friday night at home, 127-89. Lost to the Pistons yesterday, 106-89. We'll get back into it with Mike Prada, SB Nation, at 8:40. But during the break, Jason was talking about the Combine. We haven't gotten to the Combine on the show today. Reports are that Jameis Winston apparently blew people away on the whiteboard, that he was fantastic in his interviews.
He didn't blow him away in the 40-yard
plays.
dash. I know that.
No, but it doesn't matter.
The 40-yard
dash matter at all for quarterbacks?
No, it's the most meaningless stat I've ever heard for quarterbacks. Mariota apparently did really well in the interviews too.
Yeah.
So I think Mariota kind of pulled himself closer to neck and neck in this who's going to be the number one quarterback taken.
I can never tell if they're doing it for a bit like producers tell them, but I know that when Bill Polian was on set, I don't know if it was Todd McShay or whoever was sitting next to him, they were like, all right, so who do you take for the number one pick? And the first guy goes, Jameis.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill Polian was a Mariota guy.
Yeah.
And Bill Polian, of course, drafted Peyton Manning instead of Ryan Leaf. So probably looking at the character stuff. I have difficulties if I had the number one pick, I have difficulties drafting a guy who's never worked out of the huddle, that's in like kind of that gimmick spread offense.
I would never do it.
That's not familiar with it.
Been there, done that.
Right.
I'm drafting pro-style quarterbacks only.
I agree with that. But
Early.
I also have trouble handing over my franchise to an immature guy who I'm not sure can handle that sort of
But you know
pressure,
what?
the newfound money he's going to come into.
Cakes, will you open up your mind, though? Or are you just completely
I can try.
Because
but it's
every
be hard
time
to sell me on Jameis Winston,
all right,
but you
all
can
I'll
try.
say is this. I'm with you. I get it. Every time I've seen it at the podium, he's been charming. Like in the last few weeks, right? I've been.
I don't really care about the podium.
But if you're basing it on maturity, I think he handles himself pretty well.
I think, and I've said this a lot, I think he's a football savant. Like, I think the comparison, I don't remember when it was months ago, but somebody compared him to Peyton Manning. And then you watch him in the games, like the way he just commands the team, he seems to be a guy who is NFL ready when it comes to, he might be the dumbest guy in the classroom, might be smart in the classroom. I have no idea. I don't care about that. But in terms of football, all reports are he's like a savant. And like he apparently just wowed everybody. Like they say, okay, this is the defense that you're seeing. What are you going to do? Bam, he's got the answers. Like all the stuff that we hear that RG3 needs to learn, he's already got it.
Well, the two negatives on him are one, obviously the off the field stuff, and then two, he turned the ball over at an alarming rate last year.
That's a huge red flag.
Now, in the first year he didn't, but last year he did.
Yeah.
But I would agree. I mean, I think you have to assume he's going to mature and he's not going to make some of those stupid mistakes that that he made in college. You have to assume that. And usually guys do mature. But
although you can look at a guy like Josh Gordon who seems to make the same mistake.
Yeah, but a lot of those guys have drug issues, and I haven't heard any.
No, he doesn't.
Any reports of any drug or alcohol issues with Jameis.
But just watching them on the field, both Winston and Mariota, they were really, really good in those drills. Now again, they're drills. All right, I understand that.
Johnny Football was good in those drills.
But they
I
Mariota
honestly can never tell.
was better than I thought he would be.
Yeah, I can't tell very much.
And he's faster than most of the receivers are out there.
You guys want to hear the Winston Mariucci whiteboard?
Yeah,
sure.
My play.
All right. AR right, flanker, short post.
What's the protection?
Two jet, flanker.
You didn't use two jet in your scheme, did you?
I did. We called that 92 protection.
Okay. Two jet what?
Two jet, flanker, short post, X shape.
Fine. All right, draw it quickly. Here we go.
We're going to draw this up. We call this brown, okay? Blue's over here, red's back here, okay? We're going to draw him out. This is A-Rod. This guy has a hitch.
Yeah.
If it's pressed, he has the opportunity to go up, okay?
Would you throw that if you got some fat linebacker running out here with him?
If there's a fat linebacker out here, he's going to run that goal, and we're going to throw it.
All right, there aren't any fat linebackers in this league.
Right here, we have Jerry Rice right here, okay?
Yeah, and you're not going to have him. I'm just telling you that, all right?
Hey, yo, hopefully I have Vincent Jackson or somebody. But, hey, we get right here. He has a post. Okay.
How about cut underneath that guy?
Yes, sir. Let's just make him out here, okay? Because the back just went out here.
All right.
So we're going to cut up underneath that guy. Now, if he rolls down, he goes to the middle, he stays in that seam right there.
Yeah.
And we're going to love that because I'm going to drive it before he gets over there.
Yeah, you've done that a few times.
Two jet. So the line is sliding to the left.
Yep.
The back, off the edge, to the check down.
Yeah.
So this is what we want.
What's the concept here?
In the red zone, we want a touchdown to check down.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
We want this touchdown This is a touchdown. This is a touchdown. This can be a check down.
decoy.
This is
I'm
a
just
check
saying.
down. This is a check down.
All right, not bad. Not bad for a 21-year-old kid.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something.
Do they have Mariotas?
Big deal. We can
me tell you
diagram
something.
one play.
Cakes.
No,
You're sold,
we can-
if you're sold just
Hold
by
on.
that.
Do you think that's the only play you can diagram?
They've all acknowledged he's a football guy.
Genius.
Like he
I
knows
have a hard
the
time
X's and
attaching
O's.
savant to anything Jameis Winston
You
does.
That's
just
fine.
hate him. You just
just
hate
don't
him.
like
I'm not a
him. Can you
fan.
open
You
up?
don't like him.
I actually find him endearing. Like the more I hear him talk, but I'm a sucker. I admit it. I like his personality.
You know, over
I
the
don't like
weekend,
the nonsense he's gotten in, and I think it's terrible. But I like
the
this.
nonsense, like the crab legs, whatever. Over the weekend,
The crab legs is not. There's no
Over
different than us getting
Right,
hooked over
okay.
at.
Yeah, I don't care about
I'm
that.
not disagreeing with you. But
Britches.
over the weekend,
There's
the
no
rape-
different.
That's a little bit different.
It's the same thing.
The woman that alleged the rape, though. I saw some stuff about her this weekend. First of all, I guess she's revealed herself.
Yeah, she
As
has.
part of the
She's
movie.
done interviews.
And very believable.
I don't know anything about it.
Absolutely believable.
I'm completely in the dark on it, on purpose.
She wasn't like somebody who was like hammered. She said she wasn't drinking at all.
Something,
And
something
she said
probably went
somebody
on.
did
Something
the
probably
old-
went on.
The Darren Sharper deal, probably.
Well, that's the one incident. I don't care about those other incidents.
Yeah,
I don't
That's
care
a
about
big
the
incident.
I don't care about.
Yeah,
no,
but
I'm
I-
saying that's the one that's
But can't
big.
I just rely on the police? How come the police haven't prosecuted it and
Because it
handled
ends up being a he said,
Because
she
they
said
were-
their own.
Okay.
Because they were probably all going to Seminole games.
Listen, something went
Probably all
on.
had
I
season
don't know
tickets.
what happened. I'm sure something terrible went on. I hope it wasn't Jameis. You know, maybe somebody else drugged her. I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, that's the one serious incident if it did occur, and then all the other stuff I don't care about. I don't care about sitting on the table. I mean, even though it's stupid and it's immature,
but it's no big deal.
I don't care. I'm not going to, pass him up in the draft because he did it. I don't care about the crab legs. I don't care about the
Shooting the
BB gun. I
in
don't care about that.
Woods.
The one thing you do worry about is if the alleged rape. So, but if they've interviewed this guy and they've done their due diligence in the investigations, then
Apparently, the Bucks aren't swayed by it.
I don't think
Are
so.
you
Not
having
going to
the number
stop
one pick in
them.
the draft? Who are you taking?
if I need a
I would
quarterback,
take Jameis.
yeah, if I need a quarterback, I'm taking him.
I like his personality.
I think
For some
Jameis
reason.
as well.
I think
would take-
Mariota can be very good though.
Cakes probably doesn't even take Mariota. He's always
Yeah, he's not a sure thing. I need
He's
the sure
always-
thing.
He's always
I
anti-quarterback.
need all of my personnel to agree that the person I'm drafting is
again-
the next Andrew Luck.
But again,
that's what I need.
history will tell you. Well, there's just that's one every 50 years.
Right. It's gonna take a while.
History will tell you that the guys taken at that position in the first round are going to suck.
Right.
They just are.
It's a big
Well, half
crapshoot.
of
At best,
them.
they're going to
Half of
be pretty good. History will say that, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, one of those two, Winston or Mariota, are probably going to suck and be
guys suck.
underwhelming and not live up to the draft pick. Just be prepared for that.
It's hard to bet on a guy with real character issues, but I have to say that he's charmed me when I've seen him in these settings. And the fact that the coaches are raving about his football IQ, I mean, that's another thing.
Let me ask you this. Give me a ceiling on Jameis Winston, just based on what you've seen, what you've heard. What's a ceiling on him?
Like
Ceiling and a floor.
Peyton Manning.
Roethlisberger.
Oh, he could be that good.
I think he could be.
He could be one of the
My
greatest.
ceiling would be Peyton Manning.
He could be
Your
one of the
ceiling's
greatest
Peyton
quarterbacks
Manning.
ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, guy
Peyton
just sits-
Manning is one of the top 5 quarterbacks of all time.
Okay, well, my ceiling, he's going to be drafted number 1, most likely.
Well, there have been a lot of guys drafted number 1 that didn't have Peyton Manning type ceilings.
Understood. It's a ceiling. I'm not saying he's likely to get there.
It's a pretty high
Yes,
ceiling.
for- well,
you got
yeah.
cathedral
Well,
ceilings in your
ceilings-
I'm
house.
asking for a reasonable ceiling.
Cakes hates him.
I'm not a fan.
Really
Hold on a
hates
second,
him.
I
hold
think
on.
he's going to be a big
I'm-
buster.
No, I'm
Randy.
not- I'm
Mark
kind
it
of-
down.
I see where he's coming from. I don't think he's going to be a bust, but have a reasonable ceiling. Peyton Manning is not
Yeah.
a
No,
reasonable
that's
ceiling.
a ceiling. Like his potential is
I
to
think
be a guy who sits in
Roethlisberger-
the
you don't like
pocket
my Roethlisberger?
and throws tons
I mean,
of
I would think
touchdowns.
Roethlisberger, maybe Phillip Rivers. Those are the guys he's been compared to. Maybe a Jay Cutler. I don't know. Now, give me a floor. Do you think he really will be a bust?
The floor is Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah,
He has a
I
foot
don't
on
think.
the floor.
I don't think he's going to be that
I don't
bad.
think so because I don't think he has the guys that really bust like that are like head cases like Ryan Leaf. Like Ryan Leaf has drug issue, alcohol issue. Jamarcus Russell had drug issue. Josh Gordon drug issue, alcohol issue, whatever it is.
But did we know all that before the draft? Like,
Not-
I don't
not
remember knowing that
really.
much about Ryan Leaf before being
No.
some druggie or whatever.
No, I didn't know.
No,
it.
there
No.
wasn't any of that noise
No,
about
I
Ryan
didn't know
Leaf
it.
I don't think
pre-draft.
that Jameis Winston's going to be considered one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game.
I'll
All right,
make
so
the
I'm
bet
throwing
right
out
now.
I'm throwing out the Peyton Manning
Fuck,
ceiling.
making a bet. Spitting in my hand. Jameis Winston never plays in a Super Bowl. Never starts as a Super Bowl quarterback. I'll make a 10-year bet right now.
I'll make a 10-year bet. Let me just counter offer. Pro Bowl.
No, Pro Bowl's a farce. Super Bowl. You have a ceiling as Peyton Manning.
That has to do with
but
the
hold on.
team. That has to do with the team.
Well, if you're
I'm gonna-
confident
he's
in it,
got
you
to-
would make the
You
bet.
got to do 2 Pro Bowls because Gus Frerotte made a Pro Bowl.
well, look,
you
has-
got to do 2
has-
Pro
no,
Bowls.
Has
won't
Philip
make it a
Rivers
Pro
been in
Bowl-
Super Bowl?
A Pro Bowl bet is off the
No.
table.
Okay,
I'm not even
The Super
considering
Bowl
that.
to me is off the table because
No, but do
Philip
multiple
Rivers,
Pro
for
Bowls.
example, Philip Rivers is a guy who's really good. I think you would agree. Philip Rivers
Sure.
has been really good in his career. Never been to a Super Bowl.
Right.
So if Jameis Winston had a Philip Rivers-like career where he's one of the top quarterbacks in the game for a decade but doesn't make a Super Bowl, I lose that bet,
Right.
even though you really
So
want to just
make
say
the bet.
you
If you
really
wanna
just
make
want to
it,
say
make it.
no, make the bet, make this bet. You believe he's going to suck. You believe he's going to be a bust.
Yeah,
So
I do.
a bust who sucks won't even make a Pro Bowl.
No, not making a Pro Bowl bet.
Multiple
making a
Pro
Super
Bowls.
Bowl deal.
Cakes, there's your
Not
compromise.
making a Pro Bowl
I'm
bet.
not making a Super Bowl bet. That's dependent on
All
team.
right, then we have no bet. We have no
Fine.
bet. Throw
All
it
right,
out
just-
there, no
well,
action.
let's just.
He does
We'll
hate
agree.
Jameis.
We'll
Hicks
agree.
hates
Let's
him.
agree here.
He's
that
annoying.
He hates him. JP
He
really
annoys
likes
me.
him.
No, actually,
I used to
I
not
don't
like him, but I
really
like
like
him
him.
now.
I
I like
just-
him now. I like his
I
personality.
think he's going to be
respect
good. I just can't to say he's going to be as good as Peyton Manning. It's
you know
a
what?
stretch.
I respect his football ability, and everything you hear is that he is, and Cakes hates the term, like a savant when it comes to football. Like he's ahead of everybody
of
else
guys.
when it comes to getting to the line and changing plays. All the things that we see Peyton Manning do with the
All
line,
the things
he's
that
been doing
that
that
Robert struggles with.
forever.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's a huge plus. But I mean, they might have said that about Sam Bradford. You know what I mean? And Sam Bradford was the #1 pick, and Sam Bradford's been underwhelming. Pretty
You're
good
right.
quarterback, pretty good, but certainly not a guy you would have said the ceiling is
Right.
at Peyton Manning.
Not a #1 overall pick type.
No.
I don't know. Did people were
maybe-
they that high on Sam Bradford? Maybe they were.
Well, he went #1.
Yeah, I know.
Guys who go #1 are usually, I mean, they're everyone's really high on him.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Maybe Jameis turns out to be a 10-time Pro Bowler, but just based on history, he won't.
I
be.
would just take him over Mariota. I'm not taking a guy that's got to learn the pro system.
I would too.
I
would
would
too.
take that guy in the 4th round.
Who was it? I think it was Bruce Arians.
Or like the 29th pick.
Head coach of the Cardinals was just, he was basically just joning on people that come from like Mariota's background. He's like, guy who's never been in the huddle, just looks at a card and pops
Well,
his
did you
leg.
get what Eisen said?
Yes.
He's going to have to call a play for the first time since high school.
And he's never done that.
I'm punching out on that kid. I don't care
He's
how
gonna
smart
have to
and
change
nice
snap
he is.
counts
No
and all that stuff.
projects.
Cakes,
Yeah.
Cakes, he's never called a play since high school.
Yeah, I don't draft a
He
guy
didn't
with the
even
highest
call a play.
ceiling
He's like
#1 or
me.
project.
Right.
He's like
Yeah.
me. I couldn't call a play. I've called a play since high school here, since the Turkey Bowl.
Right.
It better have
I
like
didn't
3
know where to
words in
line
it.
up.
It better be like Red Bandit 1. It better not be a
Well,
long
he's
play.
not like you because he's 6'4" and he can run a 4.5.
That's true. True. My hands are bigger though.
All right,
You got to beat there.
We will talk more NFL insider from CBS. Jason Lockcombe 4 joins us at 9.